Boom, 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 boom. Hey guys, Let's see what we got here. Do we have everything on? Check 1, 2, 3. Looks like that's on. Yeah, that's on. That's on. That's on. Look at this. Gee whiz. We are in it. Welcome and happy new year. Holy cow. Yep, we're learning all sorts of things that we can do. And we're just chilling and enjoying. Let's see. Oh boy, I'm learning something about vMix Social. If I click something in vMix Social and then I click something else, it doesn't change it. Huh. What do you mean audio? It works. Yes, it does. Thank you, Marie. It's like, I don't even think I'm going to fall for that one anymore because it wasn't in all caps. I mean, what can I say? Excuse me. I've switched over from lemonade for a while. And I'm dancing about as to what my new favorite beverage of choice will be. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting little show today. Not a small percentage of it may be a surprise, but most of it's going to be just, yeah, same old stuff. Same old stuff. What was it? I've got all sorts of fun gear here that I can't wait to try out. I've got a Bird Dog Play, which I waited a year for. I have got a Blackmagic Deck Link. You can't see the green in the card because the chroma key screens it out, but I've got a Deck Link 8K Pro that I want to play with. Can't wait to play with that. I've got a new camera on order that's supposed to be shipped while I'm gone. Good evening. And we'll talk about that when we get into the show. And the problem with this biz on my end as a reseller for lots of different gear and somebody who's trying to help put packages together, I have to understand what this stuff does. And so in order to understand it, I gotta get one. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, someday I'll have a clearance sale, a demo sale of all the gear that I've bought over the years that I've used and I've moved on from for one reason or another. Yep. How is my audio, Marie? Let's see. Will it make any difference if I do this? Does that make a difference? The audio is the good old faithful. I've been using this rascal for years. The Audio Technica ATR. It's either AT or ATR 897, and it's a 6-inch shotgun mic. I've got 3 of them. I use one of them here at the broadcast desk and one of them over in the green screen studio, and then I've got a spare. And I just love them. Hey, KMR, welcome. Glad you're here. Yes, indeed. That's the problem with toys. I mean, have you ever gone into, say, a 7 or 8-year-old kid's toy room or bedroom or wherever he keeps his or her toys? She keeps her toys. There's always a basket. Maybe it's in the closet, maybe it's under the bed, but it's toys that used to be favorites, but then a new favorite came along. Oh, and the old favorites relegated to the toy basket until lots of friends come over, and then everybody wants to go through all the toys, and then somebody finds a toy that they always thought was cool, and they get to play with now, but they never got to play with before. Yeah. So my toy basket is going to go on sale here before too long. I'm running out of space to keep this stuff. But what can I say? Toys are fun. And that's the danger in this world that we live in with live streaming and broadcasting and such, is that there's always new gear. And with some notable exceptions, the new gear is always more expensive than the old gear, at least at the beginning when it's new and when it's the next, when it's the next new thing. And then the price may fall, or somebody comes out with something that does the same thing. And therefore, we have to get that one because it's half the price. Welcome, Dennis. Glad you're here. Happy New Year. Indeed. It is still a happy new year. I mean, what is today? January 11th. We're not even halfway through the first month, so we can still say Happy New Year. Yeah. Oh dear, there's a problem. Too many toy baskets. More than one is too many. More than one is too many. But if it's stuff you use, or it's stuff you're going to use. I had somebody swing by the studio yesterday. They're doing a live stream Saturday. It's currently Wednesday. They're doing a live stream here Saturday in our little teeny town of Fairhope, Alabama. Population, I don't know, 26,000, something like that. And it is the what is it? The Azalea Trail Maids, Dogwood Trail Maids. Anyway, it's a pageant, not a beauty pageant, but a pageant for young women. And these young women dress up in these immense gowns that are maybe, I don't know, 5 feet across. You may have seen pictures of them, kind of Southern belles. And they will go around the state. In fact, they go around the South, representing our area. And so whenever there's, a ship that's being named and launched for the first time, they'll be there. Whenever there's something opening that's big, they'll be there representing themselves, of course, but also representing our area. And they're all very, very smart and very accomplished and very poised. And it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Welcome, Al. Glad to have you. It's interesting, Al, when people say joining mobile today, the big city near us, right across the bay, is the city of Mobile, which is spelled the same way. So I thought, how did Al get all the way down here to Mobile, Alabama? Oh my gosh. So there you go. Glad to have you by mobile. Al and I go way back. I mean, way back, like Al, maybe 11, 12 years. Holy cow. Gunnar has got a reminder for us. Not sure what he's reminding us of. And if he's reminding me of something, I have no clue what it is. No clue. But that's all right. Don't need a clue. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about toys and more toys. Welcome, Aziz. Glad to have you here. We will be talking about we might talk about a camera today. We might talk about a camera today. Al is definitely on his cell phone. He's like, my fingers are too fat to do this. I know the feeling, Al. It's like, oh, my finger takes up four keys. Okay, the unofficial vMix API reference. It's very useful. Well, give us a link, or do I have to enable a link here somewhere? Did you post a link and it got stripped out? My apologies. Gonna give me a link again and I'll approve it right here so that you can share it with people. That's what we want. We want to share. we want to share. Although it's kind of interesting. There's a tension here in my end of the world. I need to sit up a little straighter here. There we go. There's a tension between giving away information and selling it. And so, there are people that make a living out of being an expert in an area and making their expertise available for a fee to whoever wants to purchase it. And so I try to, and then there's the other side of people that are just really, really good natured and wise and have been down a lot of roads and are willing to share their experiences. And I kind of wear both caps to some degree. Gear and processes and software and things like that that I review here. Those are my opinions and they're free. But when people call me and they've got a really hairy problem that they need to get figured out, like audio is always the worst, and they don't understand, I know I've got to teach them about audio and then help them learn how to solve their problem. That's, people have to pay for that. Is we all pay for our education one way or the other. Let's see, we've got some information here. Martin told Aziz that vMix 26 will be released this month. Any news on a specific date? I have not heard any news. I'm trying to think if there is a date that might be significant in the life of vMix. Maybe it'll be released on the 26th. Maybe the 25th, just to fool us. Maybe the 27th, just to fool us. Hello, Greg. Welcome. Audio is Greg's thing. Greg does audio like nobody else. And then there are a lot of people that do no audio at all. So, yeah. But back to Aziz's question, I would guess the 26th. Just saying. That would be a good day to do vMix 26. What happens when you get up to vMix 32? You can only release it on March 2nd. Yeah. Don't know, but it'll be fun to watch. And, for those of us that have been using vMix 26 since it first came out in beta, I think the current beta version is 26.0.0.27, which is what I'm using right now. I've been using it since the very first beta came out. I don't remember what that was. Let's see. We can check real quick. It was, hold on. It was October. Oh, doesn't tell me. But it does tell me that it was vMix 26.0.0.18. So we're now at 2.7, which is not that many updates. That's only 9 updates. Holy cow. So, yeah, we would think that there would have been more. All right, let's try this thing. I'm trying to fool the vMix forum into giving me the date instead of, a while back or something dumb like that. Yeah, I can't do it. It just says 3 months ago. Okay, well, that is a shame. But then again, it doesn't really matter. Martin rings in. Hello, Martin. So good to see you. Release dates are often announced on the vMix Fun Time live show. Well, so let's see. Let's bring up the calendar here for a second. The vMix Fun Time live show is generally on a Tuesday here in the US. And next Tuesday is the 17th. The Tuesday after that is the 24th. And then after that, it's the 31st. So if they were going to release it on the 26th, the 24th would be the 25th in Australia. So the next day would be the 26th, which for us would be the 25th. Have I lost you yet? Marie got it. Good, Marie. All right. There we go. So that's the betting odds right there. That's the betting odds right there. Welcome, Biz. Glad to have you. Happy New Year to you. Oh, our time has slipped up on us, and it is showtime here. I was enjoying chatting so much. Okay, well, sit tight. Let's do the official show, and then you may have a question or two after the show. So hang around, and we'll do a post show. We are one of those shows that we like to do. If you're watching this on YouTube later, by the way, anybody that's watching it now, please do me a favor, a tremendous favor, and just like this video. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to ring the bell. You don't have to do any of that stuff that people ask you to do when you watch videos after the fact or even live. But would you like you to live it? I mean, to like it, because that'll help other people find it more easily, and it'll pop up more frequently. So, and if you're watching after the fact, of course, we'd like you to like it too. Now, what I was saying was we are one of the we're one of the shows that does a pre-show and a post-show and a show in between, and we record the whole thing. So if you're watching, you don't miss out on the banter and the chatting that happens in the pre-show and or the post-show. And so any questions that we defer to the post-show will be part of the broadcast too. So when the show ends, don't leave. There's more to come. Sit tight. Ta-da! All right. Welcome. Glad to have you in the new year, 2023. Holy cow. I'm so glad to be here in one piece, as it is. And I'm glad you're here in one piece too. Thank you so much for all of you that are showing up live, because we got to chat in the pre-show just a second ago. But of course, you already know that, because even if you're not watching live, you probably watch the pre-show. If you fast forwarded from the beginning, if you're watching on YouTube now, do the like thing. If you were watching us after the fact on YouTube as a recorded version, and you sometimes fast forward through the pre-show, there are a lot of nuggets in the pre-show. So you may not want to continue to fast forward through the pre-show. Yes, it does drag out. Yes, there are formalities and chatting and all that kind of stuff that goes through. Welcome, Tim. Glad to have you. But it is got some value there. It's got some value there. Sometimes there are hints and tips and tricks that don't make it into the show. And so we'd love to have you get in on that too. Plus it's fun and you get to know the folks there. So welcome to Tim, who just now showed up. That's all right, Tim. If you can't be here on time, we'll take you whenever you can come. I'm teasing. So today is my predictions for 2023. And some of this will be no surprise to you. For example, no surprise, in 2023, did I say 2022 just a second ago? Oh my goodness. In 2023, there will be my first prediction, and I feel pretty confident with this prediction, that vMix will release version 26. I know that's shocking news, but I think I feel very confident. I don't think, but I don't know. But I'm somewhere between thinking and knowing. I feel very confident that vMix will release version 26 during the calendar year 2023. In fact, very likely, according to Aziz, during the calendar month, January 2023. And the odds are that they will release it in their vMix Funtime show on January 24th. Hasn't been announced, just my prediction. January 24th, which is January 25th in Australia. Thank you, Marie. And they'll say it's available the next day, which will be January 26th in Australia, January 25th in the rest of the known world. Just teasing, guys. Welcome, Jim. Glad to have you. And so we will have a new version of vMix, vMix 26. The current version of vMix is vMix 25.0.0.34. And the current beta of 26 is 26.0.0.27. The original, when it was released to the wild, was 26.0.0.18. So there have only been 9 updates, and I think 1 or 2 of those may have been internals. That is, that vMix announced, a dot number, and then they skipped one the next time they announced a new dot number. And so Marie says, sometimes you can pick low-hanging fruit. Well, I got to start somewhere. We got to build the tension towards these surprises. So yeah. So we're expecting vMix to release this. It'll be in a couple of weeks. If you haven't made an update to your vMix in a while, you can go to the settings to the About page and find out, if you qualify. I think it's on there. If you qualify for an update. If not, they're available on our website. They're $60 US. And you can get an update which will allow you free updates for a year. And so if you're still on version 23 or 24, I was dealing with somebody the other day that I think was still on 22, $60 and you're up to date. You probably got Christmas money that you can use for that. Or just don't do Starbucks for a month or a week. Yeah. Anyway, you want to update. I think it's sort of a smorgasbord update, and we'll cover it again when it's officially released. But there's some good stuff in there. One that I used today in particular that allows you to do a 90-degree rotation. Not a big deal, but when you need to do it, and not have to play with pi or whatever other numbers you have to play with to get a rotation correct. So that's number one. Number one, vMix will release version 26 in 2023. There we go. Number two, my prediction for 2023 is that BirdDog will release new firmware for their cameras. I know it's shocking. It's shocking. Imagine that, BirdDog with new firmware. Yes. BirdDog will release new firmware. What will it do? It will unlock a feature that's been laying dormant in those cameras that they haven't told anybody about, but they just decided, well, let's just unlock it. Like, what was the feature they unlocked just last month or the month before, maybe? The auto tracking. So if you've got a BirdDog camera, very likely check into it, but very likely you can update the firmware and get auto tracking from it. So yeah, and I'm thrilled with the guys at BirdDog. Yeah, am I a BirdDog fanboy? Yeah, but I'm mostly a Dan and Eamon fanboy. Eamon was in the neighborhood. He was in the U.S. He was in the southern U.S. A couple of months ago. May have just been last month. Golly gee, time flies by. Anyway, he was here on the show because he was here in town. Spent the night at my house. It was really cool. And we had a chance to talk in depth about their philosophy of how they're doing this. And they really like the Easter egg philosophy. I don't think that's what he called it, but the idea that, if you do Easter eggs, you hide them. And then later you find one that you've hidden and you didn't know you missed. And so they've got all these Easter eggs built into their cameras, and they're gradually doing the engineering behind the scene in order to enable the feature that they know is there if they can just get it to work right. So kudos to Bird Dog for that philosophy in their gear. And they even did it with the very first one, the TV studio. I don't know if you remember that big box they had that was an NDI encoder. And they continue to enable features into it, what was it at one point? You could stream, you could encode and decode, or maybe you could encode HDMI and SDI simultaneously. Anyway, it was cool, and I appreciate that kind of attitude in a company because it adds value to their product and it adds the promise of value to future products. I mean, you got to keep up the work. You got to keep up the work, but that promise of added future value, I think, is a great way to have an attitude as a company. So, prediction number 2 is that birddog.tv, by the way, they updated the URL. They got rid of the bird-dog. So it's birddog-tv. Now, excuse me, birddog.tv. If you go to birddog.com, you will go to a trucking company. So don't make that mistake. Did I do that? Yeah, I think I did that. So Marie says in chat that we need a bird dog costume. And I'll bet we could stir up enough dust, enough furor that if you wore a bird dog costume to the bird dog booth at NAB in April, you might just get something. I don't know. You remember when Dave wore that banana costume to the vMix booth and got a vMix Pro license, value $1,200? Yeah. Holy cow. Way to go, Dave. Good job. All right, so let's move on. Number three. I got distracted by the chat. Tommy's doing it again. Welcome, Tommy. Glad to have you. Number 3, another camera. PTZ Optics has released and is shipping. That's the key second part of that, and is shipping their new line of 4K cameras. It's called Move 4K. I think, do I have a picture or something here? Yeah, I'd have a picture here. Here we go. Let's see. Do we have a picture? Yeah, we can show you a picture, but it looks kind of like the other cameras. But and it's a family. So you've got a 12x, a 20x, and a 30x 4K cameras. They are native SDI, native HDMI. This is by video outputs now. Native USB, native IP, native NDI HX. Not sure which HX that is, whether it's, HX5 or 6. I mean, really like 2 or 3. And in addition to 4K, it does auto tracking. So you've got a 4K camera that does auto tracking. Oh, and the 4K is 4K 60, which is important. I'm doing 4K right now. And I know that YouTube, I didn't get my YouTube settings right. So I'm streaming 4K 60, but my camera's not doing 4K 60. My camera's doing 4K 30. So if the frame rate appears not quite as smooth, it's because I diddled with it and got it backwards. But the new cameras from PTZ Optics will be doing 4K 60. Very interesting. It will be PoE plus, so you can power it with PoE plus. I think that's a 18 volt max on that for the camera. And they've increased the warranty, and they may have done this with the Gen 2 cameras. They've increased the warranty to 5 years. 5 years. 5 years parts and labor warranty on the cameras. So you can't drop it, but if it if the focus goes screwy or if one of the motors breaks, or, not that I've ever heard of that happening, but I guess it could, probably one of the little gears could go bad. I've got one on order as a demo. Jim Wofford, Jim, if you're watching, has already gotten one. He got the 30X. It arrives, I think it arrives Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Maybe it arrives today. Can't wait to see what he thinks about it. Again, I don't have it yet. I haven't tried it yet. I can't wait to try the 4K 60, see how that does. Can't wait to try the auto tracking. I want to take the auto tracking, I want to take it out to my church and try it out. And the pricing on the cameras is remarkably reasonable. The 20X, I think, is a $19.95 for a 4K 60 auto tracking camera. $2,000. Not bad. And includes NDI, which used to be a $300 or $400 upgrade just for the NDI HX license. And it is HX, by the way, 2 or 3. So that is. Oh, I know what my prediction was about that. It's not just an announcement, but the prediction. So the prediction was that PTZ Optics, with this Move 4K line of cameras, will have a firmware update. That was sort of a product announcement disguised, very thinly disguised as a prediction. But if you're in the camera world and if you're in the PTZ Optics world, it's going to be worth a look. The interesting thing will be to get one in here. I've got a 20X and then I've got a Gen 2 20X here too. I want to compare the two. And again, I don't expect, 4K versus 1080p to be a comparison, but I want to compare the color. I want to see how close is that chip, the sensor, how close is that to the right color. Remember in the PTZ Optics line that the 12X had a different sensor in it than the 20 and 30. In fact, the 20 and 30 may have had the same sensor, but it was a Panasonic sensor. Don't know about the 12X. Maybe it was something else. So the colors for the 20 and the 30 were, out of the box compatible. So it'll be interesting to see with these cameras, if that level of compatibility is continued. The difference in price between the 20 and the 30 is $200. Used to be $100, but this is a 4K camera. So the 20X Move 4K is $2,000. The 30X Move 4K is $2,200. So we'll have to see, get the cameras in here. And the 30X has a little different footprint. If we look back at the picture again, we can see the base of the 30X, which is the one in the middle, is a little bit larger. And, that may be what the future 20 and 12Xs look like. Don't know. We'll see. We'll have to get the PTZ Optics folks back in here after their camera's been on the street for a while to talk about what people are doing and what they're seeing. Okay. Prediction number 4. I put an electric meter on the power cord for my production PC about a month ago because I wanted to measure how much electricity it uses, both in quantity and in value, and also to see what the spot voltage use was. And so I've had that on there for about a month, and these are my results. Currently, well, when I took this picture earlier, I'll check what it is now in just a second. But currently, and it's in a dark place, so it's not easy to get a camera back there. It was 105.8 watts. So, a little bit more than a 100-watt light bulb to run a 10-core, 14-core. What is this beast that we're running here? Hold on a second. We're going to look real quickly. it's an i9 10900 KF. I think that's a 10 core with 32 gigs. So yeah, so it's, you know, it's pretty beastly. Running I think a 2080 Ti graphics card. I've got a 3080 on the shelf, 3080 on the shelf that I'm probably going to try at some point. But, you know, we're doing 4K 60 here, and our total CPU is 18%. With one, two, three or four NDI cameras. Yeah, not using them all, but they're on, and so they're using up bandwidth to some degree. So here, 105.8 watts, and for a month, it's cost me $7.91. That's the figure at the bottom. Don't have a clue what the 1601 at the top is. So $7.91 to run this guy for a month. That's less than $2 a week, which is, you know, $2 divided by 7, because this PC runs 24/7, and it has for, well, it's every time I rebuild it, it obviously stops the clock and restarts it. But since I've been here in the studios, 3 years, the PCs have been running continually. So you figure, you know, $8 a month, that's $96 a year. I could save $100 if I didn't run it continually. But the value to me to have the PC run continually is immense. So I can dial in anytime, make any changes from anywhere that I want to. I've even done some remote shows, I think. Done my own vMix call. So $8 a month to run this PC. My prediction is, and that's based at 10 cents a kilowatt hour, which is about what it costs around here. I could only put in even cents. I couldn't put in decimals of cents for the value. But, and it's a cool little meter, and it measures watts, it measures hertz, it measures volts, it measures costs, and I think it measures amps too. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it to be sure. Anyway, it was $30 on Amazon, something like that. So my prediction is that I will continue to run this PC 24/7 and pay $8 a month to have that as a value. It's sort of a subscription to my own PC, available from anywhere in the US. So yeah, there we go. The last prediction / new gear that we have may come under the category of the next big thing. Yeah, how do we phrase this? It's something similar to it already exists and has for a while, but this one may, and I'm talking about the Teradek and the Live View and things of that nature. This is something called the Zi-Fi Link. It's made by a company out of India that I can't pronounce. And I think I am going to get one or two of them in here and research it and see if it's worthy of adding to our store. As you notice from the picture, it's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 4 on the top, 3 on one side, 1 on the other. It's got 8 connections to high-speed internet. Now, at this point, it says it's 3G, 4G, so it may or may not be worth getting a look at. But for those folks that are out in the boonies and don't want to do the Starlink thing and don't want to do the Live View thing, this may be a good option. It is $1,300 US and has a $350 a year subscription plus shipping from India, which is I can't imagine it's that much, but they'd say it's $150. But I couldn't go get it for $150. So we'll see. It may have enough value to warrant getting one in here. Again, it's the kind of thing that it's a little bit of a niche product, but for those of you that are doing live streaming as gigs, and you need to have, and you absolutely positively have to have internet access wherever you are, no excuses. This may be the Swiss Army knife tool that you need in your tool belt. Now, obviously, you'll need the dongles from all the Wi-Fi, all the internet providers, Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile and all the rest of them. But it may be worth it. And for a one-time fee of $1,300 and then an annual fee of $350, let's round it up to $360, so it's easy math. So that's $30 a month to have this device available to you, plus the original cost. So we'll see. We'll keep our finger on the pulse on that one, and I may pull the trigger and get one or more in here. Would love to get your thoughts on that. If you want to leave me a comment below after the fact, or put a comment in the chat right now, we'll take that when we get into the post show. Yeah. Very good. So yeah, that's it. So that's it for my prediction. Oh, that last prediction. Let's see. We had vMix, we had Bird Dog, we had PTZ Optics, we had the electrical meter. We've got the Zi-Fi link, and then prediction number 6. Prediction number 6 is that Eastern Shore Broadcasting and Streaming Idiots will hit a new gear in 2023. It's kind of like being, tooling down the highway, tooling down the Autobahn, in what you think is your highest gear, and you've got your maximum speed. And then you discover, wait, I've got a 9th gear I can shift into. So keep an eye out for Streaming Idiots and our sponsor, Eastern Shore Broadcasting, to hit a new gear in 2023. And there'll be more on that to come. So, yeah. So, if you haven't already, we'd love you to visit our website, easternshorebroadcasting.com, and see by the way, the PTZ Optics cameras are in our website. So if you're interested in knowing more about them, you can go there and into the store under the 4K and see more about them there. And they are shipping, so you can order one and have it shipped to you. Or if you want to if you want to order one and ship it to me so that I can play with it before I ship it to you. No, I'm just teasing. I wouldn't do that. No. Anyway, let's go into the post show and we'll talk about some of these offerings and see if you have any questions. So hang around. We're using our handy dandy, pay no attention to those chimes. Those don't come up when we do the X keys. But this is the X keys XK80, which is also in our store, which has this custom design that I made myself. And it allows me to control the show. And I change it every week for the new inputs that I add in vMix. And so if you'd like something like this, we had a special a while back where you can get one of these and a vMix update, $60 value for free. I mean, you can get the update when you bought one of these. If anybody's interested in us extending that offer to them again, I don't know that it's still available in our store, but just shoot me a note some way and we'll make that available to you too, because we love our X keys. Unlike so many of the other products that we talk about, the X keys doesn't change a lot. It is constant. It is reliable. It is bulletproof. if I were a little bit crazier, I'd drop this one on the floor live just to see what happened. Maybe we'll do that next week. But yeah, love me some X keys. We'll go to post show by hitting the purple button. Well, okay, so we're back. We're in the post show. You can tell it's the post show because we're blasting off into the future. So Tommy has come through with just a great way to kind of end our comments for the day. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, Tommy. Let's just make that a little bit bigger. There we go. There we go. Jan predicts that Intel will not give us an updated HEDT platform. If I knew what that was, I'd be disappointed or delighted, one of the two. Marie has decided that she is just going to get down in the gutter with the rest of the boys. Yep. Yep. Let's see, what else do we have here? Martin, you're the best. You're the best. All right, Jeep and Dave has got a little problem. Let's see if we've got enough text here to fill it in. Trying to send key and fill from the ProPresenter 7 through a DeckLink Duo 2 from an M1 Mac Mini to a DeckLink 8K on the vMix computer. When it comes in the two inputs, one of them looks like the grayscale mask and the other does not come in any color. Any ideas? All right, you guys are going to have to help him on that one because I don't have a clue. Don't have a clue. All right, so this is high-end desktop. High-end desktop. So we want to update the 299 chipset. Yeah, you know, Tim at vMix put out an interesting video this week talking about PCIe slots and lanes and talked a little bit about the X299. And I got a hint that they were a little bit more enamored with the AMD CPUs because of the available number of lanes. And we'll see if you know, maybe that indicates that there's a swing from vMix more towards the AMD CPU as a result. Don't know. Or maybe Intel is going to surprise us this year with an X399, 499, 5, 6, 799, the X799. Yeah. We will see. Let's go back through the rest of the chat and see what we may have missed. Tommy says, you've heard anything about AI video being integrated into vMix? No. I think the question is really specifically, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Um, and interesting that y'all would talk about the petrol prices, the vMix petrol prices. That's a show that vMix does, a real quick one on Fridays, which may be Saturday for them, or maybe it's like, Thursday afternoon. It shows up here Friday morning. That's probably what it is. And just last week, Tim did a video on what would we call it? We would call it data sources, data sources, and using data sources from other companies' APIs to populate a title in vMix. And the example Tim used was a little weather bug that he had up in the corner of the petrol prices website. And it's just a little, I don't think it was an oval. I think it was just a rounded cornered rectangle. And it had the time, it had the temperature, and it had a picture of a sun showing that it was a sunny day. And he went through how to make that. Check on the vMix YouTube page. It's only a week or so old. And it really was fascinating. I played with it and did it, was able to get it on the second try. So there's something to be said about that. But it was a lot of fun and just kind of an interesting exercise. So I would commend that to you. It has to do with, doesn't have anything to do with petrol prices. They were just using that as an example. So if you tune into petrol prices on Friday and you see a weather report, you'll know where it came from. Yep. Let's see. Let's go back through our other text and see what else. Let's go here. How long will that do? What? Maybe I don't want to know what goes on in the chat. Yeah, after 11 years on YouTube, I guess I could call myself a YouTuber. But what I realize is that as much as you guys might truly enjoy the content, or at least portions of the content, you don't necessarily reach out and click the like button. And what I also realize is that YouTube has become far more competitive in this narrow niche of live streaming today than it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, there were a few of us that put out stuff, and people searched for us and found us, and we ranked higher in the YouTube algorithms simply because there wasn't a lot of content. Now there's tons of content, and in order for us little guys to keep up, the things that YouTube says to do become more important. And comments after the fact help boost our ratings. Likes help boost our ratings. I think subscribes help boost our ratings. And notifications help boost our ratings. All of those things tell YouTube that you are engaged in the content, and that's what they want. But yeah. AI video in vMix will be called dynamic layers. Didn't know that. Currently $9 a gallon for diesel in southern Sweden. $9 a gallon? Holy cow. All right. Let's go back a little further here. I'd sell it sooner than later because its value is probably dropping. Yep. Yep. So you're talking about some sort of artificial intelligence that improves the quality of the video, rounds the edges, makes, kind of like the Google Pixel camera that will fix your bad photographs, will make blurred things clearer and all that other kind of stuff. That's interesting, Tommy. I suspect it's probably going to take a lot of horsepower. So there's some help for Jeep and Dave. And there's some more. Thank you, guys. Jan, we're sorry to hear that. And Tommy has a very inappropriate response. You leave these people alone for just a few minutes. We're liable to get banned from YouTube. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys are too much. You guys are too much fun. All right. Let's see what else we got. I think I'm checking through all my notes here. I am thinking we are about done. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. I make fun of you moderators because you guys are leading the pack. It's like, yeah. Did you ever have this in school when you were in grade school where the teacher would have to leave the room for something and she would appoint somebody in the room to take names of anybody that misbehaved? Yeah. So, and then that person, wouldn't do their job and they would cut up. Yeah. Became a joke. So there we go. Yeah, you get banned. Street cred doesn't do you a whole lot of good if if nobody can find you. So let's see what Maria's sending to us here. A smiling, frowny monkey. So the smiling person on the left would be Marie. That's Tommy in the middle that's frowning, and then Jan on the right side. Yep. You guys have gone off the reservation. Oh, no, that's a good thought. I suspect it's probably not worth the trouble because number one, it will be a new technology that people will have to learn and they'll screw up and tech support will go crazy. And then just as soon as they do that, Intel will come out with an X799 chip or motherboard. I mean, chipset. Okay, there we go. Great way to wind it up. Guys, I loved hanging out with you today. Thank you for showing up. And next week, I will be on the road. And so we won't have a show unless somebody's willing to guest host. If you're interested in guest hosting, let me know. Depending on who you are, if you're not Tommy or Marie, I might trust you. Now, it might be interesting to have a live stream from Sweden. We'll see. Anyway, appreciate you guys. And I will see you in 2 weeks. If I can help you in any way, shoot me an email, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah. And if we've got anything that you have that you think we can help with, shoot us an email and we'll see if we can. Yep, be happy to do that. All right. Later, guys.